I just realized since I am recording a bunch of videos in a row, I'm gonna have this big weld on my head for all of them, and that really sucks. I didn't even think about that until I was recording, but either way, I watched They Cloned Tyrone recently. This is a movie that I went completely blind for. Like, I did not know what this was. I had heard the name of the movie They Cloned Tyrone like maybe a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago at this point. I don't know how long it took to get this made, but I remember seeing a first look image of the three leads of the movie: John Boyega, Teyonah, Parris, and Jamie Foxx. They were like in an elevator, I think. And I saw that picture, the name They Cloned Tyrone. I was interested in it, and it took, I guess it took a while for it to release, but it came out like as of recording this like a couple weeks ago, and yeah, it did come out during Barbenheimer weekend, so it kind of got swallowed in by Barbenheimer taking over all of pop culture essentially. So I feel like this is gonna be one of those movies where, like, maybe a couple years from now they're gonna go, wait, why did we not find out about this movie recently? It's because you went to see Barbie and Oppenheimer. That's what happened. It's also been that Netflix is on a good winning streak for me personally. The last Netflix movie I reviewed was Nimona, and I thought it was one of the best of the year. So, and I don't really watch that many Netflix originals, so this has been a good winning streak for Netflix, at least for me, out of what I've watched. So, I can happily say that this continues that streak. They Cloned Tyrone is basically a conspiracy, thriller, satire, sci-fi, horror slash... I'd throw, like, it's also an homage to, like, blaxploitation films from the 70s. And it's about this trio, as I mentioned, John Boyega, Teyonah Parris, and Jamie Foxx. They all find out about a cloning conspiracy that is going on in their town, and they gotta figure out how to stop it. First off, I think this movie looks great. Like physically, from a technical standpoint. I think everything is on point with that. Even I have no idea if this was shot on film, but there is this film grain that is in the movie itself that gives like such a richness to what's in the frame right now, in that scene, and it looks great. If I had to compare this to anything, I feel like just based off the description, like a surreal premise, I could rattle off a couple of things like Get Out, Atlanta, as well as also Sorry to Bother You. And I would also throw They Live. I would be very surprised if They Live was not thrown around in that conversation already about, like, oh, what inspired this movie. I forgot how nice it is to see John Boyega in a movie, mainly because he got so wrapped up in Star Wars and just how dirty they did him in this latest trilogy. So it's nice to see him in like an original sci-fi movie as a lead specifically, that just he kills it in this. He has quite a few roles, not to spoil anything, he's got quite a few roles in this, and he kills it in all of them. It's also nice to see Teyonah Parris get more work, especially after launching into the stratosphere with WandaVision, as well as... No, she wasn't in Captain Marvel. It's nice to see her profile rise after doing such a great job in the newest Candyman movie, as well as appearing as a pretty good role in WandaVision. I know I just repeated that, but I gotta get back in the mode. It's also really nice to see Jamie Foxx be really good in something, especially that really terrifying health scare that happened earlier this year with him, where honestly, there was a chance that he might have passed away. We don't really know the specifics, but as of right now, he is okay, and it's great because we would have lost a pretty great comedic talent. He's probably the funniest actor in this movie. There is another famous person in this, but since I didn't watch the trailer for this, I don't know if this person was in the trailer, so I'm not gonna mention too much, but the antagonistic force in this movie is also really cool. I like the actor that played this antagonistic force. It felt like I hadn't seen them in a long time, so it was a nice surprise to see them. Redacted, I'm not spoiling. As I said earlier, the aesthetic of the movie is also really nice. It has like this retro-futuristic thing, almost like it is a blending of like old blaxploitation films with the surrealist comedies that I mentioned earlier, like Sorry to Bother You. The soundtrack is also really nice too. Maybe one of my favorite soundtracks of the year. There's a great Erykah Badu song that plays over the credits, which I'm pretty sure was made for the movie. I'm pretty sure it's made for the movie because it's very tied to the movie, unless that is just a great twist of fate and it happened to be an original song outside of this. But either way, I love the music in this as a whole. This movie's also just really funny. I don't have anything in my notes on that because I wrote it right after I watched it and it was late. But I will say this is a very funny movie on top of like being a great sci-fi thriller, like conspiracy movie, and just three great performances bouncing off of each other. Boyega, Parris, and Foxx had incredible chemistry in this, and that's largely what helped this movie work for me. I guess those are my thoughts on They Cloned Tyrone. I think this was a fun movie as well, because I feel like there's a lot of like heady topics in this, but this ultimately was a fun movie to watch. It was very funny, great like satire as well. I don't want to get into spoilers. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite performance from John Boyega as well, or multiple? I don't really know. I'm gonna give They Cloned Tyrone a 9 out of 10. I can't believe we have another win from Netflix. They're on a good win. They're on a roll recently. Maybe I'll check out what else they've put out this year. Because obviously I don't think they'll be on the level of Nimona or They Cloned Tyrone, but hey. If there's enough, sure, I'll watch it. Alright, if you watched They Cloned Tyrone, what did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. That's really the only question I have for you in this video, because I don't want to spoil anything about this. Yeah, either way, let me know below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!